I ring her up as I'm handing her the book. I'm like, did you want a bag for this? And she said, no, she doesn't. I said, okay, thanks. And she leaves. And I realize as she's leaving that when I looked at her to ask her if she wanted a bag, she looked sort of familiar. And I'm going to skip ahead to the end. Patrick, it was...
In the Midwest, you know the best is there waiting. So come and join the conversation. Eisner approved, fan and artist and creator too. What? This is how the challengers do. What? Keep the conversation moving along. Keep reading comics, keep your local store strong. If it's hard, then it's a job for the challengers. What? Comics and conversation, y'all.
From Challengers Comics and Conversation in Chicago, this is Contest of Challengers, a comics industry business podcast with
Patrick Brower.
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 Patrick Brower and W. Dal Bush.
W. Dal Bush.
Dal Bush.
Dal Bush.
Dal.
Dal. Dal.
W. Dal Bush.
Well, Dal, the wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind. And also, not that slowly. That Yelp review has been taken down.
Oh, right.
We appealed, and they said, we'll get back to you. And I got back to us and said, yeah, we'll take it down. We may have taken it down for reasons other than what you asked us for, but nonetheless, we feel it violated our community standards.
Okay.
So there you go. That is the wrap-up from last episode.
There we have it.
Thanks for... Oh, wait.
No.
I have a topic.
Okay.
It's a non-topic.
Oh, boy. That's the best kind.
But it is, like, it's a thing that I honestly don't think we, A, care about, and B, have a take on.
Uh-huh.
But it's
we'll find out.
Getting a lot of chatter, multiple places.
Okay.
And it also, you specifically know what I'm referring to from a message board post.
I do, yes.
That I shared with you.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically a different company's version of that for an Ultimate book.
Mm-hmm. So blind bags, we're talking about blind bags.
We're talking about blind bags, yeah. But specifically Ryan Voss asked us what we thought about the Marvel.
The proliferation of blind bags?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for people who are not constant comic book readers or maybe don't read single issue comic books, the blind bag phenomenon is a relatively new one for comics. It's, I think, something that had been percolating up through the Whatnot and online sales channels. People were doing these bags of exclusive variants for high prices, and sometimes they were like exclusive variants from like Marvel or DC or whatever, and people were getting really excited about them. So I think Skybound was the first company that really did a blind bag.
Yeah, the iteration that you're talking about, yes, I would go back and say that the modern day blind bag, black bag came from Boom when they were doing all the dirty covers for...
Well, that's the thing. So it's kind of two different things. There's the polybag comics, and then there's blind bags. And those are kind of two different things. They look the same, but they're doing two different things. The black bag stuff, they're
obscuring an image that cannot be seen on a shelf.
It's specifically erotic content that they don't want, that no store is pretty much just going to put on the shelves and have anyone just walk by. Nudity, sexual content, that sort of thing. So that was... They would maybe obscure the everything below the logo, but now most companies are just doing a completely opaque bag.
Sex Criminals does that a lot.
Sex Criminals is the first time I remember really doing it.
Okay.
They would do some filthy alternative artist variant covers, and
almost every company manages to put the seam of the blind bag over the barcode.
It's tricky. But what we're talking about are blind bags, which are much like the blind bag keychains that we sell and blind boxes that you can buy in different toy stores, where one of a variety of things could be in a single bag or box.
You're getting a bag hanger, and it's from the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon, but you don't know what character you're getting.
It could be one of 12 different characters, and some are rarer than others. There's chase ones that you could get.
Did you notice that the Fantastic Four First Steps blind bag clips that we have, it shows all the characters on the back. Then there's two blacked out mystery characters. Like, who could they be? And it is 1000% Silver Surfer or Galactus.
Yeah.
Because they just...
The silhouette is...
Yeah, the silhouette is...
Galactus or Silver Surfer.
Yeah, like, why even bother? Just put question marks.
Even the thing with that is, I think, if you look at images online for, like, we get those from Entertainment Earth. If we looked at the Entertainment Earth listing, I bet you would even have a picture of
the
Galactus and Silver Surfers. Because we've had that for other images that I've taken from Entertainment Earth for blind bags we've gotten for them. I put them up on our website, and they have, like, here are the pictures of those specific characters that are mystery characters.
For our website, the photos we have are the photos I took of the packages, but the descriptions all came from EE.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, blind bags for comics are just like that. For example, the blind bag that Skybound was doing for Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1 was you are going to get one of a variety of different Battle Beast #1 variant covers, anywhere from like the 1 in 10s up through the 1 in 500s, up to individual sketch covers that are being done by Ryan Otley.
Or it could be issue 2.
Yeah, there were a bunch
or the Marvel team up with Invincible.
Yeah, novelty.
So it was legitimately possible to buy Battle Beast #1 and not get Battle Beast #1.
We had at least one customer buy the blind bag and then have to come back and buy a copy of Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1 because
they did not get Battle Beast #1.
They got #2 in the blind bag, which means that when issue 2 came out, they're like, I don't need it. Okay. But you could also have gotten a foil reprint edition of Battle Beast's first appearance. You could get a foil reprint of the Marvel team-up issue that included Invincible. So you could get a bunch of different stuff, and people flipped out about it. They really loved it.
And look, I think that A, that was fun for people. B, it was like the D cover or whatever. Like there were other covers to order. It wasn't just blind bag.
Yeah.
And I think we know for a fact we dramatically underordered. But I will also say that if they didn't do this gimmick, the sales on that book would be like a quarter of what they are.
I guess people have stuck with the book, though. I'm honestly a little surprised as I was shelving issue 4 that we were still ordering so high, and yet all day people were coming in for it. So it's like,
yeah, but I don't think that would have been the case without the blind bag #1.
So I will definitely agree that people would not have jumped onto it. But the thing that's that is a factor in how I think about these blind bags is like, no, but people like the book. Like, there's definitely people who bought multiple copies to game the system or to play the market or whatever. But a lot of the people who bought those blind bags or came in looking for the blind bags and bought a different cover kept buying the book. They're reading it and enjoying it.
Yeah.
So obviously we knew the second the Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1 blind bag situation happened, and it was so many people coming in for that book and calling asking for it. And we ran out like within a day. That it was clear that this was going to be emulated by other publishers. And some people have done like variant boxes and stuff like that, but more companies are now doing explicit, like not explicit, I guess, but specifically copying it's a blind bag. It's going to have a number of variants up to high ratio variants, up to 1-for-1 variants.
One of the things I'm annoyed about for DC specifically is that they've announced they're doing this for KO.
So the first one,
by the way, do you know what that KO stands for?
King Omega.
Kenny Omega.
We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So the first one they announced it for is Batman #1.
Right. So that's my problem.
Yeah.
They've announced all this for DC KO without knowing how it worked for Batman #1.
Sure.
And for Batman #1...
So, I mean, they know what the orders were.
Yeah.
They know how that works.
But you don't know what fan reaction is, especially because for Batman #1... you're getting a foil variant.
This is the perfect time.
And you're paying more. Wait, what do their normal foils go for? Like $7.99?
$6.99, $7.99.
And you're paying $9.99 for these bag foils.
Because they're charging you for the bag too.
So it's all foil covers.
Right.
It's not
basically for Batman #1, and I guess we're kind of skipping ahead, but we'll talk about Batman #1, which is the next one they solicited. The idea was normally DC will do foil covers in addition to cardstock variants. What they said for Batman #1 is they're doing the open order cardstock variants, but they're not doing any foil variants. Those are only in the blind as a bat blind bag. And those are all going to be foil editions of the open order cardstock covers. So, for example, they're doing an open order Frank Quitely cardstock cover. The foil version of that cover will be one of the ones in the blind bags. And the blind bags, again, will include like 10 different covers or some of the high ratio variants and so on and so forth. I think it makes sense for DC as a publisher to solicit something like DC KO #1 blind bags, which they just announced the other day, and why we're talking about this, because you kind of want to do it right now. If you're trying to create that sense of FOMO in stores, it's like they tell, people in Hollywood, actors, directors, writers, you book your next project before the one you're working on comes out.
Yep.
Because what you're dealing with now is all potentiality. Like, as far as DC is concerned, they can look at the pre-order numbers and go, this is huge, people are ordering it, we clearly know this is working. What the sell-through rate is irrelevant, because stores are still going to order the KO like they're missing out. But here's the thing, and why I know a lot of stores are upset about it. Some of them are upset about the concept of the blind bags. They were upset about them when the blind bags were announced, because a lot of retailers are old and we have long memories, and we remember schemes like this before that were detrimental to the long-term health of the industry and also to the short-term health of books bombing and you getting stuck with stuff. Sometimes up to long boxes full of things that you thought the gimmick was going to be better, people were going to care, and they didn't. The other thing is the specific order window for these DCKO blind bags is what I would call, as a retailer, if I'm being generous, and I will be generous, not optimal. Not only are we ordering this, I think before we're ordering the regular covers of DCKO, because that's usually how this works.
Yes.
If something's going to need additional production time, they're not going to order everything early, which is what I think Marvel frequently does. I actually prefer the DC way, where they're like, this one thing is going to take longer, so that you're going to order now. That glow-in-the-dark cover you're going to order separately, and then everything else you're going to order in the normal window, which is great, because I look at the gimmick covers as not part of my normal ordering process. I look at them as like a separate dumb thing. So I need the normal order window for the regular covers, and I need the extra time between, when the current issue comes out and when I'm ordering the next one, because I need to know what I'm going to order for that next one. So I need Absolute Batman 11 to come out, and then I'll give you my numbers for Absolute Batman 12, because I need to know if this thing is still selling well, not selling well, what's working, what's not.
Spoiler, it is.
Meanwhile, I'll order the Absolute Batman number 12 glow-in-the-dark cover separately, because it's like, I don't know, like, I can just make up a number because I'll base it on pre-orders, and then I will figure out, like, how interesting do I think this is? What are the pre-orders telling me that people want? And then I'll come up with a number. And this is kind of the key thing for us. We're never going to stick our necks out on this. No. I don't care. Like, I will probably order low thinking it's a gimmick, and if I lose money on it, I didn't waste money on it. So who cares? It's all additive to me. I don't give a shit.
When you say lose money, you mean leave money on the table.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm literally not losing money.
Ordered too many,
right? Which
and
you
didn't sell them.
100% can on these things. If you get really excited about, especially something that's $10, I'm not going to order like 100 copies of this blind as a bat thing, thinking like, well, everyone's going to want it. It's going to go for a ton of money online. What if it doesn't? What if you're only normally selling 100 copies of Batman, and now you've ordered 100 of the regular and 100 of this blind as a bat? Like, you've made zero money. You've literally lost money, even if you sell out of all the regular covers and you're stuck with the bagged ones. So I don't get as upset about if DC's gaming the system. They sort of are. Or if I think the pre-order window is too small. Essentially, they're telling us about 11 days before the book closes its numbers that this thing A, exists, and B, what it is, which does not give us a lot of time, or any store a lot of time, to contact their customers or publicize or to say, hey, there's this bagged edition. Mostly because I don't give a shit. I'm not going to go out of my way to tell my customers about some stupid $10 bag thing. If they want it, great. If they don't, I don't care. It's not...
Well, what if I put it in the FOC email next weekend?
Go ahead. Sure. And that's the thing. We already have a mechanism for it, so it's not us only having, what for us would be like 3 days before the order's closed. That's when we tell everyone everything. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't need way more time than that. I don't need it in a monthly catalog that people are going to get 2 months in advance. And again, I don't care. Like, this isn't them telling me that Deadpool Batman is, a thing that I didn't even know about before and now is closing its orders in 2 weeks. That's insane. You can't do that. That is not nearly enough time to publicize a book. But one stupid gimmick variant? I don't care.
Are you surprised there's not a bagged variant for both Deadpool Batman and Batman Deadpool?
I'm not surprised, because they probably would have needed to know that way before that this was like a new gimmick thing.
Yeah.
Like, whatever they're doing in 2026, they absolutely will be doing them. Yes. But this one, I think the planning stages were so far in advance of them seeing what Battle Beast was doing that they could not pivot that quickly.
That's fair. You think they're like, why didn't we do this?
I think they're still going to make a lot of money on those books, so no one's kicking themselves too much. But yeah, I think, like, again, So DC's got 2 on the books already. They
Okay,
got
so-
Batman #1 and DCKO, and then Marvel's also said that.
But wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So Batman #1, it's just the other covers as foils. What are the bagged versions of Kenny Omega?
I gotta look. It's. I think
For the record,
it-
I'm only ever going to call it DC Kenny Omega.
you do what you want. I'm gonna look up the Batman one first to see what else they'd said.
The same way you always say the full name of Battle Beast when I just say Battle Beast.
I was only doing that for the podcast. I usually do not care.
Nor do I.
Where would that have been?
We
Here
rack it under B
Batman
for Battle
#1 on
Beast.
FOC. Do they have this?
We racked Sandman Universe Presents John Constantine Hellblazer under H.
Yeah. Acetate poster, DCKO trailer. So it must have been an earlier email than this one. Okay, here we go. Blind as Bat bagged editions. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Shamil.
10.
Shamazel. Hasselbeck Incorporated.
Thank you. 10 of the open order cardstock covers as foil covers for the blind bags.
Jeez.
But they're also offering the Jim Lee alternate foil version 1 in 500 and the Jorge Jimenez alternate foil version 1 in 1000. That's it. Those are the only ratio variants they're putting into the bags.
In theory, could you order the 1 in 1000 by itself if you ordered 1,000 copies?
No, because as they note here, the blind bag will count towards the 1 in 25 and 1 in 50 Batman incentive variant covers. Also, I don't know if they have a higher ratio than that. They might only be doing the higher ratios inside the bags. Let me go back to the Batman #1 FOC. That is the 1 in 25, 1 in 50. That's it.
Huh.
Yeah, the high ratio variants they're only doing inside the blind bags. So if you ordered 200 copies of Batman #1, the regular covers, you're not getting any extra variants besides the 1 in 25s and 1 in 50s.
Do you consider, though, that these are Schrodinger's comics? Because the potential of what's inside is way more valuable than what's inside for the majority of the books.
Yes. And that's honestly, I think, why a lot of people had bought multiple copies that they were planning on flipping. They're not planning on opening them and hoping they got one of the high ratio variants or one of the cool, like, alternate books for Battle Beast. Sorry, Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1. It's that they were... The possibility of getting those means you can sell them at a higher rate. Like, I think most people, when they have blind bag stuff, I think they probably want to sell it in the blind bag because it's like selling a lottery ticket.
Yeah, it could be a winner.
Right. Let's look at what they're doing for the DCKO. Gotta find this real fast.
So I'm guessing that you have the Best Bot Machine variant, the Cleaner variant, the Golden Lover variant, the Ring of Honor variant,
The North Carolina variant.
the where?
I'm scrolling for this. You can do it.
You can scroll with your O.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Get a lot of emails. Get a whole
Well, I
lot
mean,
of emails.
the main email from yesterday was about the absolute reprints.
Do I have to? I gotta search for this. You're gonna have to edit all this out. I hate this. I hate having to find this shit like a day.
Why
later.
don't you, Dal,
Patrick?
search Mike's email?
Because I want the specific DC version. Okay, here we go. The DC
I'm gonna have to
KO.
edit any of this. Clean Voice will do it for me.
Great.
Although I did not use Clean Voice last week.
Lights Out Polybag Special Edition, which I do like that they're doing. It's all wrestling terminology. I
Yeah.
really like that.
Yeah.
People can complain about this all they want. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 open order cardstock variants are going to be foil covers. Plus Mark Spears 1 in 100, Javi Fernandez 1 in 250, Jim Lee 1 in 500, Greg Capullo 1 in 1000. These variants are not available outside of the polybags.
So there's 16 different covers you could get.
Yep. That we know of. To be clear, for Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1, they did not announce all of the covers.
Yeah, that's fair.
They specifically said, look, you're going to get like some of the, like the ratio variants or some of like the regular covers. They didn't say until people started finding them, like, oh, you could get completely different books. There's like 4 books that we did not tell you could get. So it would not surprise me if DC also looked at that and went like, look, if we want to sell these things once they actually release to stores, there's got to be some surprises.
I would love it if they did really fun stuff like Scott Snyder was there and he just emptied his pockets like, hey, here's a ticket stub for a movie he went to see. Here is
Zorro.
a gum rabbit. What's that?
Mark Zorro.
Yeah. Or like the Ryan Brown where it's the normal book, but there's mustaches drawn on everybody.
Yeah.
Or this one's in the bag upside down.
I definitely think they could and should do things like sign copies or,
Yeah.
you know, one for one sketch
but do you
covers,
think-
that kind of stuff. Because they are doing sketch covers, at least for Batman, like as a variant you can buy a blank sketch cover. So like it shouldn't be insane for them to be like, we will get a couple artists to do some sketch covers, and then those are going to be randomly inserted.
I'm sure they never do this because it's not fair, but they should do the like random. We tore the cover off of this one.
They're
variant.
not going to do that. Like, I don't think they want anyone to feel like
This
they
one
got
has a
burned on
money footprint.
this.
We stapled the cover onto an old Beetle Bailey comic.
We're just like, what's in my blind bag? Oh, it's New Guardians #3. Why? What is this? Why is this? Why did you?
Now, if you want to put that along with the book, that'd be fine. Okay, so now moving on to DC's Distinguished Competition.
Mm-hmm.
So the Marvel Ultimate
Endgame,
bagged version.
right? Which they're calling True Believers. I don't know if I have an email for that because I don't usually get emails from them. Let's see if I can just look up True Believers Ultimate Endgame. See if there's any sort of official announcement. No, I put Avengers Endgame where I should have put Ultimate Endgame.
I was going to ask if the catalog's up yet, but that's
They
today,
were not earlier
is
today.
not Friday. It's Thursday.
Yeah, you'd think they would be, considering places are going to start getting the actual print catalogs tomorrow. Okay. Marvel's all-new True Believers blind bags debut with Ultimate Endgame #1. Each blind bag will contain one issue of Ultimate Endgame #1 with one of the following covers. The main cover, the foil cover, one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Just regular
9.
covers.
So the problem with this is that this is a Marvel announcement and they don't list ratio variants. So they're just listing like, here's all our variant covers, but I assume some of these are high ratio variants, but I don't know which ones because none of this has been solicited yet. None of it's in the catalog. But anyway, main cover by Mark Brooks, foil cover by Derek Chu, variant covers by Cafu, Sanford Green, Alexander Lozano, Peach Momoko, Dan Panosian, Ryan Stegman, TBA. I want some TBA.
How much in TBA?
Scotty Young, black and white Virgin variant cover by Scotty Young. Chip Zdarsky, blue line blank variant cover. Virgin variant cover by Mark Brooks, available only in the blind bag.
No covers by Luciano Vecchio? Weird.
Virgin variant cover by Peach Momoko, available only in the blind bag. Home homage cover by Stonehouse, available only in the blind bag. And rare secret variant covers by surprise contributors, found only in the blind bag that will remain unrevealed until the issue's release. So they are definitely doing the Battle Beast thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was that announcement, well in advance of the actual solicited Ultimate Endgame #1, which I think is coming to stores sometime in January or something. I don't know when. This December.
Isn't it one is the week of, like, the end of Spider-Man and Ultimate Endgame are, like, the last 2 weeks of the year?
Sure.
I want to say Ultimate Endgame was week of Christmas and Spider-Man is the week of New Year's, but I could have that backwards. The last 2 weeks of the year are Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve for new releases.
Yeah. I'm aware of that.
Why?
Why am I aware of it?
Yeah.
Because it's been on a calendar for Marvel has been putting all of its
FOC
FOC dates and stuff because those are all going to start to be weird as we get closer to the end of the year where we're suddenly ordering things like 6 and 8 weeks out instead of 3 and 4 weeks out. So they're giving people plenty of warning to say, this is what's going to start happening and these are the weeks it's really going to get crazy. And part of that is like, here are the ship dates. So it's like, oh, ship dates are New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve. Okay.
Something to look forward to from the holidays, for the holidays, around the holidays, during the holidays. The only thing to look forward to during the holidays.
Maybe. Yeah, so to sum up, I don't really care much about the blind bag stuff because I look at it as, you know, a bonus. I don't look at it as anything that we need to order a lot of or I would be swayed into ordering a lot of due to anything that a publisher could tell me, either really generous ordering window or a super like penalizing order window. I don't care. I'll get some for the shelf, and when we sell out, and we will sell out, I'm ordering to sell out. It's a blind bag. I want people to actually pick up and look at their comics. So selling a blind bag, it's like selling an action figure. How many of these do I really want? Is this what I want to spend all my money on and risk the store's capital on?
Yeah.
I don't. I'll order a ton of copies of Batman #1 for sure. I did. I'm not going to order a ton of copies of the Batman blind bag because you can't read it. So no, I don't get upset about it. I don't care enough to be angry at DC or Marvel for how they're doing their blind bags or that they're doing them at all. Whatever.
I think Marvel should have a series of blind bag covers where it's the main cover, but drawn in somewhere is old licensee characters like Conan or Rom or the Micronauts.
I'm just surprised that the first Marvel blind bag wasn't a Daredevil comic.
Sure.
Feels like you're leaving money on the table there.
How do they know that he can't see it?
He can see he can't see bags, but he can feel them, right?
But he won't know there's money on the table. Is my point.
Oh, I see. No, he was kind of rare sense.
Not in the TV show.
Yeah, that's dumb.
He just knows. He's got like a spider sense.
Why would you not let him have a radar?
He's got his
It's so weird.
his Daredevil tingle.
His Matt Tingle.
Matt Tingle. Well, that was the main topic.
There it was. We're done.
I do want to complain briefly about barcodes on comic covers.
Okie doke.
We really complained and hated the DC cover, the barcodes around the launch of the Absolute line
All in.
because they streamlined them all. They made them very tiny.
They made them a lot thinner, which sucked.
I understand that the barcode can be vertical or horizontal on a cover based off of the cover art. I do prefer it the way it used to be in the direct market, where it was always going up in the bottom left-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
They were uniform.
Yeah.
It was like a uniform product code.
And that makes life easier, but fine. You want to put it vertical, horizontal, fine. You want to put it in the back, fine.
I will say this. If you put it on the back of your book, put it on the bottom. Don't put it in the middle.
Yeah.
Don't put it on the top.
Yep.
Don't do that. Don't make me go looking for it.
Do what you want for the trades, for the collections, for the graphic novels. For the single issue comics, please put them on the bottom. But I really wish between the companies, the barcode would always be facing the same way. So if you have it vertically in the left-hand corner, I want it to be reading in the same direction on everybody's books.
Mm-hmm. Either from the bottom to the top or the top to the bottom.
I don't care which way.
Pick one.
I mean, I would prefer bottom to the top.
I would as well.
Because with our particular scanner, you need to scan from the bottom.
And also,
because you scan from the top, it misses the extension.
As a righty, the way I'm holding a book when I'm scanning it,
same.
I have to turn my wrist too much to be able to scan the barcode if it's facing the opposite direction.
I don't like that the barcodes on the back of the Absolute books are facing the other way. But I don't like when I'm ringing up a pile of comics for the week, and it's specifically Image and DC who are opposite of each other.
Yeah.
The Image does it as if you're reading it on the spine of a book on a bookshelf.
Okay.
DC does it the other way.
Yeah.
And the other way is the way we prefer it.
Yep.
And again, like just pick one. I don't want to have to stop and turn for each book.
Sure.
And I know that it's a very specific to us because of the way our barcode scanner works.
Yeah. And again, if
wish
you're
that
left-handed, I think you'd probably feel differently,
Yeah. It's just a tiny little quality of life thing that would mean so much.
Sure.
And it's very easy, I would think, to make it an internal decision and just be like, hey, they always have to go in this direction. It doesn't matter where on the cover it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure it's always going in the same direction.
That would be great.
That's all I want, Al.
That's all you want, Patrick. The only thing you've ever asked for.
Barcodes. Okay, your turn.
All right. How do you feel about the compact comics and the premiere editions? Do you think do you think that people are more likely to sample stuff that way?
Yes, definitely. I don't feel that the compact comics or the premiere edition, I'm just going to say compact to mean all of them.
That's fine.
I don't think the compact comics are a replacement for any of those books.
No.
And specifically for Challengers, we would never stop stocking Watchmen. We would never stop stocking New Frontier, All-Star Superman, or Batman Hush.
Kingdom Come.
Yeah, exactly. There's some maybe, like what is it, Wonder Woman Earth 1? Is that one of the compact?
It is, yeah. It's all 3 volumes in one book.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't care if we let that go from the regular stock, but they're never, for the most part, they're never going to replace the books that they're compacting.
True.
It's the same way when Marvel was doing, and I missed them so much, the digest size, which is not exactly digest size, but the smaller kid versions of their collections
Mm-hmm.
where you get twice as many issues for half the price.
Yep.
And those sold like gangbusters for
Yep.
us.
Oh, they're all sold out.
And now they don't make them anymore.
They definitely don't make them anymore.
And yeah, we're making less money on those books, but we're selling so much more of those books.
Yeah, and specifically selling them to people that, and this is, I think, why I love that format so much now, to
Who
people
wouldn't have bought the other one?
who don't normally come in and get a whole bunch of graphic novels. And they are burning through stuff, and it's great. I had a couple people come in like on Monday, and they got a book each, and then they came back, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday and got a few more books each. And we're literally at the point with the Compact Comics where we cannot keep them in stock. We're ordering multiples of each volume at a time, and each week we're having to reorder certain titles.
I like describing them as disposable.
Yeah, and that's, I think, one of the best things about it. Somebody had complained at one point about how the binding wasn't great, and you can finish reading it, it's kind of falling apart. And it's like, well, it kind of should. Like you're paying $10 for this. This is like buying a movie ticket.
It's not going to last forever.
You got the entire story. You got your enjoyment out of it. Let it go. You want a better quality version that you can read again and again? I can sell you that too.
Yeah.
This $10 one is meant to just be read and maybe not kept.
Like if DC announced they're doing hardcover Compact Comics, I'd be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
But I like saying that these were made for the airport market.
Yeah.
For airport bookstores. You want something fun to read on the plane.
Yeah.
Something where you're only $10 invested into it.
And I mean, the page count for most of them is really built around the idea of it is the length of your flight.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit down in your seat. You're gonna read this. Plane's gonna land someplace, and you're gonna be done reading it, and then that's it.
And if you want to stick it in the pouch in the seat in front of you and leave it as a gift for somebody else, go ahead. If you don't want to have to worry about packing it in your bag and taking it with you for the rest of your trip, leave it behind. You spent $10.
Yeah.
It's really disposable entertainment,
Mhm.
and I think they're great. And while we were really unsure of where they were going to go,
Yeah.
and because they're so thick, they do take up a lot of shelf space, and DC did make a dump for them, but we didn't go for that because we have a bunch of dumps that already work.
Right, and also their
And they're-
dump didn't hold nearly enough.
Yeah, and they're thinner, and they can go in different places. But last week we changed it up and have now a rack right by the front counter
Mhm.
with all those books. And the timing was great because we did that on Wednesday of last week,
Mhm.
and then you placed a reorder for a bunch of stuff that came in Friday. So everything was perfectly aligned to where every book had one spot,
Mhm.
and then immediately you're out of stuff.
Oh yeah, multiple things. I was doing the reorder this Wednesday, and it was like, oh, we're completely out of like 4 different books.
Yeah.
And there's a few that we have on back order that people have asked about, and it's like, we definitely have back orders for those. I don't know when they're going to fill, but luckily everything that we were out of this week is coming back into stock within the next few days. So that's great.
I wonder how long they plan to have all of these in stock and available.
I
think they will cycle some of them out.
I think you have to. And somebody a customer at one point had confessed that they wanted volume 2s of some of these, and I'm like, they're never going to do volume 2s. You can't do volume 2s. The whole point of these is any of these you can just pick up and read.
Yeah.
So like them doing like a Deceased volume 2, they don't want people randomly picking up volume 2 and being like, I don't understand this. Like, you're not collecting these. This is just something to read and be done with. So yeah, I would assume that a lot of the stuff that they have, they will take a look at and go like, maybe we don't need to keep Far Sector in print long term. Maybe we don't need to keep Batman Court of Owls in print long term. We can just have a different Batman story or a different Green Lantern story or whatever, and just move on to different things. Because the way that they organize these isn't the same categories of genre that we would use. They specifically have like, this is thriller, this is science fiction, this is fantasy, and so on. So I think they might look at it more in the sense of like, how many fantasy books do we have in print right now? How many thrillers do we have in print right now? How many adventure books do we have in print right now?
I know this isn't what you meant, but I would love it if they did a compact edition of the Robert Lord Fleming Trevor Von Eden thriller.
Sure, maybe.
She's got 7 seconds to save the world, Dale.
You should pitch DC on them when you see them next.
I'll do it. John Suntress from Word Balloon had just posted a really fun video of 17-year-old Trevor Von Eden with his very first comic book assignment for DC, going like an editor's going over and saying like, all right, here's the changes we want to make. Here's, why we want you to do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And what was great about it was 17-year-old Trevor Von Eden
Mm-hmm.
had reasons for everything he did.
Neat.
They're like, all right, well, you need to make him smaller in this panel. Trevor's like, this is the first time he's talking in the issue. It should be big. It should be important. You should focus. And for the life of me, I forget the character.
Right.
I forget who it was.
Tommy Thriller.
But he definitely was, like, it wasn't just, I drew it this way. It's like, no, here's why I did it. And he wasn't saying, no, I'm not going to change it. But he was saying, just so you know, this is why I did it that way.
This wasn't just like an error or like an oversight.
Yeah.
Right?
Or
Or
like,
gut instinct.
I don't know how to lay out a page.
Right.
He's like, this is why each one was done. And it was such thoughtful consideration to page layout from a 17-year-old kid.
It's crazy.
It was neat though. But yeah, I think Thriller would be great to be in that format. I'm sure they don't have it digitized.
It'll be interesting to see what other books they do because, yeah, I mean, a lot of the early ones were a mixture of some of their biggest hits of the last decade, but then also like some of the greatest hit stuff.
I'm surprised that we got the Michael Turner Batman Superman stuff.
Yeah, well, and the Ed McGuinness stuff as well. It's like the first like 13 issues or something.
Okay.
But
It's just a Michael Turner cover.
Like that's what I'd like to see companies do when they're supporting media projects. Like just use like the compact comics instead of like 8 billion tie-in graphic novels that will never sell because you gave people too many choices. Like Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, what are you doing for it? Well, I mean, the soft covers theoretically in print at some point. The deluxe hardcovers in print. Just do the compact comic. We're done.
Yeah.
I don't need, here's 15 different
And that's
Silver
in
Age
the new DC
collections or
catalog.
whatever.
So yeah.
And then, for God's sake, keep it in print, because that is the biggest problem we're having now with certain graphic novels, is like the Absolute books we're having a real tough time keeping in stock. The Absolute soft covers came out and hardcovers came out for Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman already this month. And we ordered what I consider to be high. Almost all of those within the first week we sold out of what I thought was going to carry us for at least a few weeks. So we did immediate reorders. And even the immediate reorders are sort of like, do we need to do another immediate reorder right after this?
Oh, but guess what? You can't for Batman.
We can't for Batman because Batman's out of stock. The Absolute Batman Volume 1 is out of stock, I believe, at both Penguin Random House and Lunar. So that's great. No idea how long it's going to take for that thing to come back into print. We have copies, I think, still in stock, but I don't know how long they're going to last. And that's kind of annoying. And that's one of those good problems to have, a book being so successful that it's sold out of what should have been like a multi-month print run in less than 3 weeks.
Yeah, you know,
But it's still a
DC didn't
problem.
underprint it and think, oh, we don't want to get burned with this book. You know,
Right.
they printed what they thought was an aggressive
Not enough.
overrun. But they are finding out, like we are finding out,
Mm-hmm.
that in today's market, people want things after they're announced. I'm sorry, after they're on the shelf.
Right. Yeah.
Not after they're announced. That's the wrong answer.
Definitely a thing that we've had to
What
struggle.
about Tim Seeley?
All right. Definitely things that we've had to think about more as we're doing our ordering is the kind of ratio of what we would have for subscribers versus for the shelf is starting to get a little bit more parity between them, as opposed to, you know, the majority is going to be subscribers and then some copies for the shelf. Now it's like, you're going to have to raise those shelf copies up more. And in this, we didn't have a lot of pre-orders for the Absolute collections at all. Some people had ordered the hardcovers, which is good because we weren't planning on stocking those long term. And some people ordered the soft covers, but the majority of them were just rack sales, just people coming in and saying, oh, I heard the Absolute collections are out. Right?
I tell you, 100%, I had thought I had ordered the Wonder Woman hardcover. Insofar as I even have a memory of doing it.
I can't believe you're giving me the I thought I was down for this.
No. I'm saying I thought I did it.
No.
I clearly didn't.
Clearly you didn't, Patrick.
Like, it wasn't a computer error.
No.
I even thought I had a memory of doing it. And I fully acknowledge that it.
But what I'm
'Cause
getting at is when people say, I thought I was down for this, what they mean is, I thought I ordered it and I didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm
Which-
using that language.
Yes.
Because I even looked it up before it came out to be like, I'm down for this, right? I'm like, I'm not.
Oh.
I thought I put myself down for it. Yeah, but I did not.
Clearly didn't.
So I threw all ours away because I'm like, if I'm not down for it, nobody gets it.
Yeah, I
That's
think
fair.
it's totally
That's
fair.
fair.
It's a normal reaction.
How long until do you think Grammar Absolute Compact? That was the question. I'm done.
Okay.
You know what I was trying to say.
I do, yeah. How long do I think? I think for any of the compact comics, I think they're going to, if it's an ongoing series, I think they're going to wait a little bit longer to do compact comics for them. I don't think there's any reason for them right now to be doing compact comics for continuing series. I don't think they've done that for any of the compact comics that I can think of.
Suppose
Like, it's all been either completed miniseries or completed ongoing series. Like, I don't think they've touched anything that's currently appearing on the shelves. So maybe that's the
Right.
criteria.
But suppose
Or it's
they
a
had
coincidence.
offered Absolute Batman hardcover, softcover, compact. How would that have changed your orders?
I would have ordered way more copies of the compact comics than I would have I would order when I was doing the FOCs, I think, for this. The hardcovers were a few for the shelf, not something we're going to keep in stock long term, because in general, when people have the option of soft covers or hardcovers for superhero graphic novels, they always go with the soft cover. We end up having to usually discount the hardcover just to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So I ordered some for the shelf, but was like, when we sell out, we sell out. We'll special order them if we need to, but we will probably not be stocking this for the shelf, just the soft cover. If they'd introduced the compact edition as well at the same time, I probably would have done a token number of the soft covers to keep in stock, 1 or 2 for the shelf, but the majority would have been the compact comics. I would think most people who are coming to it are brand new to the material and are not normal comics buyers. So they will probably opt for the more affordable one, especially if they're on the fence with it, which is what the compact comics are for. Like, if you are even vaguely curious, $10 is a nothing price, as opposed to $17 or $25, where it's a lot easier to be like, I don't know anything about this. I'm going to maybe do some research or ask some friends or just think it over.
I wonder if I agree with that, because a lot of the people that were buying the Absolute Batman softcover were buying it because they'd heard how good it was.
Patrick, you were gone for a month. Everything's changed.
I was not gone for a month.
You were gone for
I was
6
gone
weeks.
for 7
Everything's
weeks.
changed.
7 Wednesdays. 7 Wednesdays. It did feel like a lot had changed, like just in the neighborhood.
Maybe.
Things felt physically different.
Yeah, but no, I admit that, like, I'm not basing this on any hard data. I'm just anecdotally thinking about, like, how I've seen customer behavior for things recently. And yeah, I mean, I would love to be completely wrong and be like, oh, I thought people were going to want this $10 book, but they only want, like, the bigger version. The number of people who have asked about the hardcovers mean that I've been wrong on that.
Yeah, but you can't feel bad about being wrong on that.
I don't,
because
but I could admit I'm wrong.
Yeah, fair. And of course, my general reaction to all this is, well, you could have pre-ordered it. We didn't make it. It wasn't a secret that these were coming out.
No.
Like, I had done one of the FOC emails and put Absolute Batman in there and pointed out that it is softcover and hardcover available.
Yeah.
It's one thing if we don't go out of our way to alert you, but we did.
Yeah. But a lot of the people that are buying it are not people who get any of our emails, who don't see any of the FOC stuff. They could have told us in advance, hey, I want this, put me down for it, but most people don't think that way.
So FOCs only go to subscribers.
No.
So everybody gets the FOCs and everybody
Correct.
gets Wednesday.
Correct.
But
The new catalog email only
is
goes
the
to
only one.
subscribers.
Okay. Yeah, a new catalog email has the highest open rate, but goes to the least amount of people.
Correct. But the people it's going to are the ones most used to getting it and most likely to utilize the service. When you're sending out the FOC email, I want it to go to everyone. I want it to go to every casual person we've ever had on our email
So
list.
they could sign up for stuff, yeah.
Because you never know it's going to be the book that where they're like, oh, I didn't know they were doing a Adventure Time Bubbling book. I didn't know they were doing a Deadpool Batman crossover. I didn't know they were doing a Critical Role comic or whatever. And they'll be like, oh, now I want to sign up for comics.
Yeah, but who knows when exactly that Adventure Time Bubbling special is coming out.
It's really hard to tell.
The goalpost on that one keeps moving.
It is subject to change depending on what emails
It's not
you read.
even next week, it's the week after.
It's really funny.
Yeah. Such a weird.
Who can say?
I definitely can't. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Future,
I
Patrick. It's
literally
where
don't
we'll all
know.
live one day.
I don't know. I know this is bad content when I frequently say, just had a thing and it went away.
Okay. Here's a story.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll take a story.
Okay. So
I know what the story is.
Monday, I think it was Monday, a woman came in the middle of the day on a Monday. No one who I think had shopped at the store before. I didn't recognize her. And she had her phone out. She asked me if we had any Black Ninja comics. And she was saying it like a proper noun, not like any
Ninja comics
ninja
that
characters who
feature
are black.
black characters.
She was not asking
Like
for
you
like
mean
Afro
Power
Samurai or
Rangers,
whatever.
where the Black Ranger is also a ninja.
Right. So I said, Black Ninja. That doesn't sound familiar. Do we mean Black Butler maybe? And she said, no, she didn't think Black Butler's right. And it was kind of clear at this point that she was maybe like, I felt like she was getting this for somebody else. Because we've seen this before. Someone's kind of like, do you have this character? And they don't really know it. And they don't really know we would possibly have. So I'm like, all right, well, let me look it up. So I went to Ingram, which is the distributor we have with the largest database, the most diverse database of books.
Not that we would get it strictly from them.
No, but it would help me narrow down
us.
like what is this and who publishes
See, I
it.
usually go to Pub Easy first.
I go to Ingram because they've got everything. So I typed in Black Ninja, nothing came up.
It came up and it just said racist.
No. So by this point, she's looking at her phone. She kind of came around to the side where I was on the computer. I'm like, sorry, I'm looking at Black Ninja. I'm not seeing it. She's like, oh, well, and she starts reading me off some attributes of the character. She's like, it's a character from like one of the Marvel like movies or TV shows. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. So at this point, I just did a straight up Google search.
Marvel does have a penchant for putting in characters that exist in the comics, but only in their civilian identities in the movie, and never calling them by name.
And I don't watch every Marvel thing now. So like if this is a character
oh, you know what?
like Born Again or Ironheart, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that was actually the Melter,
right,
but just in his civilian identity.
So I just do a Google search. I'm like, so I told him, like, I did a Google search for Black Ninja, and the only thing that's coming up is like a 2003 video, and I don't think that's enough to have a currently publishing comic book.
Yeah.
So she's kind of skeptical, and she's looking at her phone, like, do you mind, can I take a look at what you're looking at to just see if I can, because I'm stumped here, like anything that's going to help me.
Did she show you the phone or hand you the phone?
She handed me the phone so I could take a look at it. So I look at it, and I'm scrolling a little bit because it's...
Dal immediately swipes to her photos.
No, I'm looking, I'm professional. So it's a wiki entry, and I'm like, what is this? And so I scroll a little bit, and there's a thing that says it's the Marvel DC Cinematic Fanon Wiki. And for those who don't know what a Fanon Wiki is, it's a fan fiction wiki. So it's people creating their own characters for fan fiction and then giving them Wikipedia entries as though they are characters of commensurate scale and significance as Spider-Man and Batman. So
I think it's safe to say that Marvel would not have a character called Black Ninja.
No, and it's funny.
Not now.
Because I went looking for this later to kind of tell this story to some friends, to be like, this people I know who write fan fiction. So I'm like, look, this is your goal. Is
you want to be on a wiki?
You want to create a character so prominent that a civilian, a stranger, finds it and goes to a comic shop and confuses a retailer by saying, please help me find this. So work hard on your fan fiction. But the weirdest thing is the fan fiction is like a recolored Power Ranger from the Power Rangers movie from like 2017, that kind of organic-y looking one. So I said, I'm sorry, this is a fan fiction character. This isn't anyone who's going to be in any comics or anything. The person who wrote this entry and created the character said they were in the Defenders TV show, but they're not. And she said, okay. And looked around the store for a little bit. Eventually bought a Demon Slayer Volume 1 graphic novel. I ring her up. As I'm handing her the book, I'm like, did you want a bag for this? And she said, no, she doesn't. I said, okay, thanks. And she leaves. And I realize as she's leaving that when I looked at her to ask her if she wanted a bag, she looked sort of familiar. And I'm going to skip ahead to the end. Patrick, it was Jenna Fisher. It was Pam from The Office, Jenna Fisher.
Who's in town for a play. At the Goodman.
At the Goodman.
That I've already received mail about.
Which is what clicked in my brain. Because if you go to Jenna Fisher's Instagram, she does not look like Jenna Fisher from The Office. It's been a number of years since she was on that TV show. She's changed her look.
Like her hair is short and very wavy.
And she was wearing an Earwolf podcast hat, glasses. So not incognito, but just somebody who is just out in the world. She's not
a casual look.
Yeah, she was not filming anything.
Right now, I can tell you, listener, Dal is in jeans and just a button-down shirt with a floral pattern.
Yeah.
Not even no vest.
No vest even.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
and
what? What are you wearing?
You know what? Never mind. If you don't think of doing it reciprocally, I don't want people to know. Just go on.
Okay.
So rude. Go on.
I honestly don't know what you had said that I responded in a rude way to.
No, that you didn't think to do it reciprocally. That's the
To,
part.
to say what you were wearing?
Yeah. No, after I did you, and you'd be like, and because it's so out of character and people would not suspect.
I didn't know if you wanted me to
Well,
describe what you're
now
wearing.
I don't.
Patrick is
I do
wearing
not.
an entire
I don't
tuxedo
want-
with not one, not two, but 3 top hats, only 2 of which are on his head.
I am trying to work out my tuxedo mask fan fiction. Thank you.
Oh, for your
Sailor Wiki.
tuxedo Patrick is your fanon
Yeah.
character. Anyway, Jenna Fisher from The Office came into the Challengers comic book store and asked me to find things on Black Ninja. I had sussed out this as, in my brain, I'm like 70% like, I think it's Jenna Fisher because you had shown me the Goodman Theater thing, and I was like, oh, Jenna Fisher's in Chicago. That's so weird. So when this happened, I was like, wait. And so I basically like, I went to the Instagram and was like, is this Jenna Fisher? And she was wearing the same hat in the Instagram photos that she was wearing in the store. So I'm like, oh, it's 100% Jenna Fisher.
You mean 100% was Jenna Fisher?
100% was Jenna Fisher.
She's already gone. Because my first question
She
was,
was long gone.
did she sign the wall? And you said, no, I wasn't sure it was her until after she was gone.
Correct. It wasn't until she
And she's never going to come back because you could not get her Black Ninja comics.
Well, I can get her Demon Slayer Volume 2. We have that in stock. So if she finishes Volume 1, we'll have Volume 2 ready to go. But yeah, so it started off being a story where I was... And this has happened before. We've had people who come in who look for things that
don't exist.
That don't exist.
But they don't know.
Right. And so we have to kind of puzzle out, what are you looking for? And then we have to go, oh, you can't buy that anywhere. It doesn't exist. And then the twist was it was Jenna Fisher from The Office, which was surreal.
It's a good story.
Yeah, it's a fun story.
Yeah.
I realized after it happened, oh, that's a story I'll get to tell for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
People in your life, you only have a few of those stories that drop in your lap where you're like, I can tell this to anybody.
See, my story that's like that, I can't tell to just anybody because it's very niche.
Uh-huh.
But when this gentleman was in the store, just looking around, not with anybody from their work, not with anybody I would recognize, and seeing this person in street clothes is a lot different than just seeing him in shorts and a towel. And so much so that I'm like, is that Samoa Joe?
Samoa and Joseph.
I'm not entirely sure. So it was a Friday, and this is years ago. And I pulled up Samoa Joe on the computer and called Gina over, and I pointed to the guy in the store. I'm like, is that the same guy? She's like, oh yeah, it definitely is.
Oh.
But the favorite part of my interaction with Samoa and Joseph was when Kaiju Max was new.
Sure.
And we still had Kaiju Max 1 on the front counter.
Nice.
And I was pitching it to somebody else in the store. And they bought it and left. And Joe came up and said, hey man, that sounds great. Can I get one of those?
Nice.
Like, wow, I pitched Joe on a comic without even trying to.
Yeah, look at that. Just so get your job.
Then I'm like, tell you what, I'll give you that comic if I can trade it for a signature for a wall.
That's nice.
And he said, yeah, sure. And then it turns out that he was waiting for Charles Martin Punk, but also he stopped by the store because CD had told him to come by. Nice.
Yeah. So the Jenna Fisher signing the wall thing, even if I'd known it was her, I don't know that I would have done anything. I'm always really reluctant to do that. Just in general.
I think asking to sign the wall is way less of an ask than saying, can I get a photo?
Not even, yeah, I mean, for sure. And
I didn't do a photo with Joe because I got a signature on the wall.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is I would never do the photo. And honestly, even the hey, I love your work. Hey, I recognize you from whatever. Even that's a thing where for me, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't think most people would mind, but I don't want to add that layer to the interaction.
Sure.
The first time that Punk ever came in, I didn't know who he was. He was just a guy who was asking about Ultimate stuff. So I explained Ultimate stuff to him. And I honestly think it's one of the reasons why he came back.
And I think
I didn't know who he was and I didn't treat him any differently than any other customer. This woman who was asking about stuff for Black Ninja, I've had that conversation, not literally that conversation.
That's the first time ever.
But a very similar conversation with other people. And I would have done the same thing for anyone. She didn't get better service because I thought she was famous.
Sure.
And she didn't get worse service because I didn't think she was famous.
And with Joe, the only thing I did was ask him to sign the wall. I didn't do, hey, I'm a big fan.
Of course.
I didn't bug him about why he was in town. He told me why he was, and then because he's like, hey, I got some time to kill. I'm waiting for
Sure.
Charles.
Yeah.
He's like, can I, and so when we had our chairs, so he's like, can I just sit here for a while? I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. But I think just being like, hey, would you mind signing our wall?
Sure. And
Because even doing it that way, because they don't, the wall is not just celebrities.
right.
The wall is just people who've been in
Yeah.
the store.
Yeah, I guess this is a very subjective thing. And, this is a situation where maybe I'm overthinking it in a way where anyone who would be famous enough to have that happen to them would be like, I don't care. I'm happy to do it. But I would just be like, I would feel weird asking.
Maybe she likes being recognized.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure she doesn't want you to call her Pam
I would not have called
and
her
do
Pam.
lines from the show.
Right. And yeah, obviously, like I would, my thing for anyone who is famous for any reason being in Challengers
Is fuck you, get out.
is no, we don't have a bathroom. No. The real thing, and I swear to God I mean this, is I don't want you to have to talk about your job if you don't want to. I want you to talk about comic books.
Yeah, that's.
I want Challengers to be the place where you talk about comics.
I'm never saying ask about their job.
I have, for all the times that Punk has ever come into the shop, I have never, to my knowledge, ever talked to that guy about wrestling. That's his job, even when it wasn't his job. I don't want to do that. Like, he's got a million people in
Right.
his world that will stop and talk to him about wrestling and stuff, whether he wants to or not. Challengers is the place for comics, man. Like, that's where you talk about comics. If Jenna Fisher comes back and she wants to ask questions about comics, recommendations, or talk about stuff she's read or whatever, I am willing to have that conversation. I look forward to that with anybody who comes in who is passionate about comics. I don't need to talk to her about her acting career at all.
Tim Meadows was in
Not into
back
it.
in like 2011,
Mhm.
and he was looking for Simpsons or Futurama comics, which we didn't have, but we had a subscriber who had them, who was in the process of burning us. So I was able to sell him the ones from that guy's box.
Nice.
And I did the, hey, would you mind signing our wall?
Mhm.
I never said, I'm a huge fan. I
Right.
never said, oh, I watched you on SNL. Nothing.
Sure.
I made sure to get him the books he was looking for.
Sure.
He signed the wall and never came back.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy
Like,
from,
I would probably, if somebody came in multiple times and we had
Yeah.
multiple normal interactions
then you
and
probably
they
do
were
it.
famous, I would be like, hey, would you mind doing something for the wall? Like, then it would feel less like an imposition of somebody who just came in for whatever reason and we kind of ambushed them versus like, oh, you actually have a connection to the store and this means something. I can point to this and go, oh, this person shopped here regularly or came in a few times. Or
Guy from Veep, tall, awkward, white guy. Timothy
Simons.
Timothy Simons. I know him from, I just lost the name of the show, the Adam Brody and Kristen Bell show. Anyway, he was in
Mhm.
once, and
He
he
was.
was with somebody. He was with a regular of
With a
ours.
regular customer,
Yeah. So
yeah. Who's come in recently.
I don't remember who it was.
I can tell you it was later.
That's fine. But one of my go-tos is for quote celebrities.
Mhm.
And I did this the first time I met Jeff Lemire. He was talking to Mike Norton.
Mhm.
And I'll walk up and I went up to Jeff Lemire and said, I'm sorry to bother you. I didn't say that. I said, excuse me, is he bothering you? Pointing to Mike Norton.
Right.
Like, just say the word and I'll bounce him out of here in a heartbeat. And each time they're like, what? No, it's fine. I know it's fine. I'm like, okay, but this guy's been in before and he's kind of shifty. So just let me know.
Yeah.
And Jeff Lemire's like, no, he's fine. And Mike's like, what did I do? But that's just
Oh,
like
golly.
my way of interacting with
Right.
them.
That's just the
And-
opening line.
Yeah, and then I leave them alone. That was
Sure.
it. That's the whole thing. Yeah. So I think that's funny. But I'll only do it if I know the person they're with.
Right. You're not doing it to a stranger.
Yeah.
Or
Or,
not
like,
for to bounce
I-
somebody who might actually be bothering them.
It's the person that I'm accusing of being a bother
Mhm.
has to be someone I am already friendly with.
Right. And that you know is a good person.
Yeah, and would take that in stride.
Right.
And so, like, I'll do it regularly, and sometimes people
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Yeah, actually, could you get rid of him?"
Yeah, there's really two ways you can go with it if you're the recipient of that. You can either do the like, what? No, oh my God, no, he's super nice. It's like, oh, okay, well,
Just let
you
me know
don't
if
get
it
you don't
changes.
get that it's a joke yet, so
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
And now it's whatever. But the people who play along, it's like, oh, we're gonna be friends.
Yeah.
We're on a wavelength.
It's gonna work.
So it's worth trying. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know what stranger is going to be your secret.
And
friend.
it's good to have a couple of go-tos in your back pocket,
Sure.
you know?
Mhm.
there's the go-tos, and then there's the go-aways. Thank you for listening.
And keep reading comics.
This has been Contest of Challengers. Thanks for listening. Keep reading comics. Challengers is located at 1845 Northwestern Avenue in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago. 773-278-0155. Keep up to date with new releases and events at challengerscomics.com. And help fund this podcast at patreon.com/challengers.